Hello and welcome to this free webinar on the 29th of June 2025. My name is Wisdom. I'm a digital trainer and an accountant, and I help Zimbabwean entrepreneurs with their tax compliance, financial literacy, and how to grow their businesses with confidence. So in today's session, we're going to learn or talk about the top triggers of audits and investigations by ZIMRA and how you can avoid them before they start, and how you can stay compliant and protect your business. So, as I said, my name is Wisdom, a digital trainer, as well as bringing practical and actionable insights to entrepreneurs. We have talked about the objectives of today's session. So, I believe in understanding the why. In everything that you do, you need to understand why you are doing such thing. So, in today's session, we first start with why does this matter? Why this matter? So, as we all understand, ZIMRA has increased their digital surveillance through upgraded systems like TAMS, ASCUDA, and drone technology and other technologies that they are implementing at the moment. They are also changing the way we import and export goods through what they call Zimbabwe Electronic Single Window System. So it's important for you as a business owner to keep your business protected and keep your business in compliance with everything that is required. So the reason why you need to understand the top triggers of ZIMRA audits and investigations is the increased digital surveillance that ZIMRA is carrying out. All right. So number two is the costly penalties that ZIMRA is implementing, because they have changed the penalties for late filing, for non-payment, for non-disclosure, which can severely impact your business and sink you. So it's important for you to understand why this matters so that you avoid costly penalties. Then also, business credibility. When you're dealing with other suppliers, especially now with the FDMS system that they are implementing or they've implemented, most business now want a fiscalized invoice so that they can claim their share of the VAT. So if you are doing business with other businesses, a B2B, it's so important that you have you are compliant so that other business can trust you. So this gives you business credibility. So we have three main things on why it matters for you to know how to stay compliant with ZIMRA. All right, let's move on. All right, so trigger number one, we are talking about the top triggers of ZIMRA audits and investigations. Top trigger is consistently filing new returns. This is a common practice among business owners which are still small, of filing new returns. With the, as I said, with the increased digital surveillance of ZIMRA through the systems they have implemented now, example TAMS, FDMS, they can easily track your transactions with other businesses, and also as well with your TIN, your individual tax identification number. There's a TIN for yourself, there's a TIN for your business. So they can easily track now your transactions, especially when you have a bank. They can easily go to the bank and garnish your account for investigations. So top trigger number one is consistently filing new returns. What is the solution? You need to and filing and consistently being available in the market. That means your returns are not realistic. Then the solution for this is to maintain evidence. Let's say surely your business is low. You need to maintain the evidence for the low activity of your business by filing or keeping evidence. income records, expense records, and other records that are needed for you to prove that your business is not making any sales. Top trigger number 2, unusual VAT refund claims. So when you're filing, when you're claiming VAT, sometimes you might, in other months, you might purchase more items than the sales that you made, especially for those that import. This happens. So sometimes you are left to claim VAT refund. So in VAT we have input and output VAT, right? Output VAT is the sales or the VAT that you are collecting on behalf of the government through your sales, right? Let's say you sold something for $1 and you owe the government, or you collected VAT on behalf of the government 13 cents, right? So you have collected 13 cents for the government, and you need to remit that tax to the authorities that are in charge of revenue collection, in this instance ZIMRA. Then you might purchase your purchases, right? These are what we call input VAT. You purchase items for $2. That means your VAT is now times 2. That means the ZIMRA or the agency has to refund you the other 13 cents. And surely they will need evidence that they can refund you that evidence, VAT. Especially now with terms, it's now easily, it can be scrutinized easily because the systems allows for transparency for both currencies or the currencies that you are dealing with. If you sold something in USD, you need to prove it that you have sold in USD, especially with the FDMS system that has linked it to the ZIMRA servers. So unusual VAT claims might trigger for your investigation or an audit from ZIMRA. So what's the solution here? There's a law that in months that you purchase more, you are not required to claim all the VAT in that month. You can claim that VAT in the following month, so that you are not in a position of claiming VAT refund, right? Just to get, are you hearing me clearly? Is everyone hearing me clearly? May you confirm that you can hear me clearly? Can you confirm that you can hear me? All right. So this was the trigger number 1. Number 2, unusual VAT refunds claims. All right. Trigger number 3, mismatch between ZIMRA returns and bank activity. So let's say because banks have a duty to report any ununderstandable transactions. So they might give a tip-off to the agents that this company has an unusual transaction. So they might need to compare your ZIMRA returns and bank activity. Let's say you have low declared income that you submitted, but somehow you have more activity in the bank. You are receiving more credit or more sales or more deposits in your bank than the returns you are submitting. This might trigger a mismatch, right? So when there is a mismatch, you are likely to be audited or investigated. So high deposits and low returns, they might trigger ZIMRA audit and investigation. So what is the solution here? you need to separate your accounts, personal, business, and bank accounts. You need to do transactions that are linked to the bank to the company through the company bank account, and not try to mix transactions, because as I said, they are now individual TINs and company TINs, so they can easily track your individual TIN and your company TIN, and it's an offense that you are passing transactions through your personal account. So also you need to reconcile your bank incomes. You need to perform a monthly reconciliation or a weekly reconciliation on your accounts, so that there is no mismatch between your returns and your bank activity. Trigger number 4. Trigger number 4 is third-party whistleblowing. So whistleblowers, they might come in different angles. They might be employees, they might be competitors or customers or disgruntled customers. ZIMRA might send a voluntary disclosure letter to your office or through the email, and ignoring those notices might get you audited or investigated. So you need to check your emails that or check with your terms that the emails are going to the correct email. They might assume that they are sending you the emails, but you are not receiving them because there is a different email on the terms account. So you need to have the correct email address on your terms account, right? So you need to have unanswered letters, unattended emails, or escalated enforcement. So the measure all the emails that ZIMRA is sending. And also what you need to do on this is you need to acknowledge and address all ZIMRA communications within the stipulated deadlines. Even if it's just a request, you need to attend it on time and respond promptly, right? All right, that's trigger number 5. Trigger number 6, no tax clearance certificate. Most business owners, all they want is a tax clearance. So they might display the tax clearance but ignore on the new returns issues. So you need to work on that before you might obtain your tax clearance, but it's not about just receiving the tax clearance, it's about compliance, right? So you need to comply on VAT, income tax, payee, and other taxes that you are supposed to adhere to. So what is the solution for having a tax clearance? You need to ensure that you have ensure that all your tax obligations are met and your tax clearance is applied for and renewed promptly each year. These days they might give you a 6 months tax clearance if you have outstanding issues with ZIMRA, or if you're filing new returns. ZIMRA might suspect you that because of filing new returns, you would come back and try to look for a tax clearance. And after 6 months, they might investigate or audit you because of the half-year tax clearance. So what the best way is, you need to obtain through the right channels, because as I said, the digital surveillance of ZIMRA has increased to an extent that if you bribe someone to get a tax clearance, they might get it for you now, but through that illicit means they might catch you on the next renewal date. So it's always important that you follow official procedures to maintain integrity and avoid severe legal repercussions. Number 7, trigger number 7, payroll irregularities. So let's say you are operating, you are filing income tax, VAT, but you are saying you don't have any employees. This will likely trigger an audit, because you are saying that in as much as you are doing business, you don't have anyone who is employed. So this is an irregularity for you, that you are filing income tax and you are paying VAT, but you don't have any employees. So you are likely to get an audit for that. So you need to make sure that every time you add an employee to your team, you need to register them with ZIMRA, because as I said, now everyone is a team. For you to file a payee return, that person has to be registered with a tax identification number of their own. Also, businesses without NASA compliance also face severe penalties and investigations. So NASA is a social security agency that you need to adhere to its own all obligations. So if you are being compliant on NASA on payee, but also you're not being compliant on NASA, you are more likely to face an investigation as well. But the most important part is for you not saying you don't have any employees while you are filing other returns for your business, like income tax and pay and VAT. So what is the solution here? You need to implement what you need to do is you need to implement a robust payroll system. So you might use a robust payroll software, or you might get a professional HR person to help you structure your procedures for payroll on a month-over-month basis. Then also you need to file all your payee returns on time and with the proper record keeping. So what you need to keep for each month, for you to say that I have done the payroll and I have submitted all the returns. So it's also important for that. Now we need to move on to trigger number 8. So trigger number 8 is rapid growth with no compliance. So this usually happens. It can easily happen to you or your business, because when you start a business, you might not anticipate the rapid growth that comes with the business, and sometimes you see compliance as another angle, or you are too small to be noticed by them. But because of increased digital surveillance, you need to plan on that compliance issue, because it will cost you in the future, especially when you have grown, or you have there's rapid growth and you are not compliant. So this is a foundation for you, for your business to survive generations. You need to plan on this early on. This is a foundation that you need to work on. So what is the solution here? The solution for rapid growth is you need to register for each tax head when you have reached a point to register, and you need to maintain the proper records, and you need to obtain the correct knowledge before you register for any other tax year. So with this digital surveillance, now you can easily follow ZIMRA through their Facebook page, their LinkedIn page, now in Twitter page. They also have a WhatsApp channel that you can follow, where they put updates, because they are trying to catch up with this digital world, and you don't need to be left behind, right? So solution number, trigger number 8, trigger number 9, that is import or export discrepancies. So when you import, let's say you are importing goods from South Africa or from any other country, when you're importing, there needs to be a sequence in all your other taxes. For example, when you import raw materials, you are going to manufacture and sell, right? But however, you report low income or low sales, and you are more likely to, let's say you have imported raw materials worth 20,000, right, for January, right? Then February, you import also the average of 20,000. For March, you import 24,000, right? These are imports. However, the amounts that you are finding as sales, they are not matching those amounts. Let's say for January, you said you sold 16,000. Then for February, you said you sold 16,000. For March, you sold the same amount. These are what they call import or export discrepancies. These will make you get audited easily because they can trigger the systems of ZIMRA easily. Now they are trying to implement what I said, the Zimbabwe electronic single window system. And also they are trying to work with Microsoft to implement an AI system that will trigger discrepancies. Because of the age we are living now, of the digital world, it's not easily, you can easily get investigated without you knowing. Because these discrepancies, AI can be given the context of how things should be, and they can scrape a lot of data from different taxpayers, and they can easily flag those taxpayers that are not those that are likely to have those discrepancies. So you need to work on that so that your import or exports don't have any discrepancies, right? We are now on trigger number 10. Are we all following along? Are we all following along? All right. Let's move on. All right. Trigger number 10. It's poor record keeping. So poor record keeping might get you investigated. So let's say ZIMRA comes to your shop or to your business, and they ask for your income records, your sales records, right? And your sales records shows that you have a poor track record of record keeping. What they would do is they might estimate that today you have sold 1,000. You are more likely to be selling the same amount on a day-to-day basis. So that means you under-declared your income at some point because of poor record keeping, because they can't prove that these amounts are the correct amounts that you say you have done. You need to have a structure of your records. You need to have a structure for your income records, right? How do you record your income records? Do you use this sales invoice structure? from quotation to invoice to payment, right? Or you just use the payment receipt system. But you need to have a structure and a proper way of record of keeping the evidence. Do you keep some as digitally and others also for backup on paper? It's up to you to decide which record keeping structure you need to keep. Then also you need to have a record keeping structure on your purchases. If you are in a business of retail, buying and selling, your purchases are the goods that you have bought for resale, right? You need to have a structure of properly record keeping your goods for resale. Then also you need to have a structure for your operational expenses. These are your day-to-day expenses, and these expenses make your business run on a day-to-day basis. These include rentals, employment costs, right? And general expenses and admin. You need to keep a proper record keeping of your operational expenses. So you need to have a three-structure way of tracking your records: your income records, your purchases, and your OPEX. Most people, they get it right here, but they will fail dismally on these two. They might know their rentals, but they might not know the other expenses that they are incurring on a day-to-day basis. They might know them on the day, but they might not know the record keeping structure. So you need to have a structure on your record keeping. So this is trigger number 10. So we have discussed the top 10 triggers of ZIMRA audits and investigations. Our first was consistently filing new returns. When you consistently file new returns, you are more likely to be investigated, especially now with the new system terms and the transparency terms is offering to both ZIMRA and the taxpayer. Then also unusual VAT refund claims. These ones are the top trigger for you to get investigated. Then top trigger number 3 is mismatch between ZIMRA returns and bank activity. That was top trigger number 3. Then trigger number 4 was third-party whistleblowing. That is from a disgruntled employee, unhappy customer, or even a competitor might whistleblow you to ZIMRA for you to get busy. And you know, no one loves to get investigated. So you need to keep a clean sheet of your records for ZIMRA purposes. Then also top trigger number 5 was ignoring ZIMRA notices. So if ZIMRA sends you a notice and you ignore it, you are more likely to get investigated or audited. Then top trigger number 6 was not having a tax clearance. Then top trigger number 7 was payroll irregularities. No pay, no NASA records. Then top trigger number 8 was rapid growth with no compliance, right? Rapid growth with no compliance, right? That was top trigger number 9. Number 8, top trigger number 9 was import or export discrepancies. Import invoices don't match ZIMRA declarations, sort of. Top trigger number 10 was poor record keeping. No receipts, manual books, missing documents. So you need to digitize your records or your books. Now with the new world we are living in, it's now easy to have a system that is online based, like Zoho Books or any other system that can store your information digitally. So now let's discuss on how to prepare for ZIMRA audit, right? How to prepare for ZIMRA audit. How to prepare for ZIMRA audit. Number one, so you need to be always ready, especially now they can easily move around your businesses. So you need to have a solution if that comes to audit. So once you leave here, you need to go and update your books. Right? You need to have a solution on your sales records, your purchases records, your operational records, right? Number two, you need to file and archive all returns. You need to have a structure of filing your returns and archiving them. So there are different taxes. There's VAT, right? There's income tax, then there's payee. The major ones that are filed on a monthly basis, it might be VAT for you and payee. Income tax is on a quarterly basis. So you need to have those three files in order. So, and ZIMRA says you need to keep your records for at least 6 years, right? Then number three, you need to reconcile your returns quarterly. You need to schedule a meeting with your accountant or your tax accountant on a quarterly basis and sit down and reconcile your taxes. What have you done on payee on the last 3 months? What have you done on VAT for the last 3 months? What have you done on income tax? So this will keep your books in order. Then you need to have a tax consultant to advise you. So you need to have a tax consultant or someone who has experience, not those ones that file new returns for you, but the one who will tell you point blank the truth, that if you file a new return, yes, you don't have the money, but you received this money for VAT and you ate it. You use the money, but you need to file the correct return and find ways to budget for this actual expense that comes with running a business. So these are where the top 10 triggers for ZIMRA audits and investigations. So if you have liked this video, you can subscribe to the channel. We will be posting more and more on financial literacy, compliance, and having confidence to run your business with the correct structure in terms of the finance of your business. So next week, on the 8th of July to the 13th, I will be running a tax basics course for entrepreneurs, right? And this course is costing $50, right? So if you'd like to join this most affordable tax basics course for entrepreneurs, you need to send us a message on the WhatsApp business account, that is Tax Basics 35. So we have a special offer, a discount, which is offering a sale that ends tomorrow. So if you would like to join the next cohort of the Tax Basics course, so earlier this year we started this course, and it has seen a lot of people enrolling for this course on each cohort. So if you would like to join this next cohort, you have to message us Tax Basics 35 to our WhatsApp number, which you likely have on your WhatsApp, and you might save $15 if you use this offer that before it ends tomorrow. So it will end tomorrow at 5 p.m. $5. Instead of paying $50, you pay $35. You would have saved $15, and you have the access to the modules that we are going to teach on the day. So we are going to teach not on the day, but on the days, financial literacy for entrepreneurs, right? How do you know how to read the financial statements? What do you look into for your financial statements? And what are the red flags to show you that your company is doing well or your company is heading for a disaster, right? So you need to have financial literacy as a business owner on how to read the financial statements, because numbers are the language of the business, and you need to understand how to communicate that language of business. Then we are going to touch on income tax, how to process your income tax. What are the basics for all income taxes? What is reported? What are allowable deductions and disallowable deductions? Then we are going to touch on VAT. What is input tax and output tax? How do you track VAT using different methods? And we are going to touch on pay. How do you process a payroll for your business? Then also we are going to discuss other tax heads like presumptive tax and other taxes that you are supposed to know as a business owner. Then we are going to touch on Excel spreadsheets. So as a business owner, you need to have a basic understanding of how to use Excel spreadsheets. Excel spreadsheet is a basic tool that makes numbers calculations easy. So all these income tax, VAT, payee, they can be easily calculated using Excel. Excel is not just the only spreadsheet tool. There are different other tools that you can use for your business that you learn in this coming course. That is Google Sheets, Numbers from Apple, and other Zoho Sheets, and other spreadsheet tools. So if you'd like to join the next cohort, just message us and we'll process your enrollment, which you will enjoy the lessons that are coming through. So the lessons will be held on a learning management system. That means if you miss a lesson, the lesson will be pre-recorded and uploaded to the system, and you have access to view your lesson at any given time. Then we will have live discussions on the topics that we would have learned. So go and message us. Thank you very much for attending this live webinar. See you in class. See you in class. Thank you very much. Now we are ending this stream.